And welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing another rec review, and this time we're going to be focusing on our boy San Pascal. And let me just turn up the volume here so I can hear. Excellent stuff. So we got San Pascal going in, and he's going to be playing Huns against Georgians. Sorry, my sound is actually very low. I remember why. I put it down myself. Just in general, we'll raise everything up. Maybe not the critters. I don't like critters. Yeah, that's excellent. It's a bit better. So you can hear a bit more of that game sound. I still like it to be a bit lower. Oh, a bit lower than usual, but I want it to be, audible at the same time. So we have San Pascal playing as the Huns in blue, and he's up against not my cup of tea as the Georgians. Okay. So it's gonna be a nice match. Around 1250 elo. We see the good luck, have fun. Love to see that sportsmanship on the ladder. I really enjoyed that. Sorry, the critters are. I don't know if that's critters or no. That's the. Hold on. This is I have to find the perfect sound. It has to be just right. Of the sheep gather rate. So yeah, this is a nice matchup. I love to see people playing sportsmanship on the ladder, and we're gonna be seeing what San Pascal is doing right and what San Pascal can do better. I actually reviewed this guy in the past. I remember the game he played an amazing game. Actually, I remember. It was very, very nice. He had a really nice strategy, but he's since improved. So he was, I think, 1100 in that replay a few months ago. Now he's 1250, which is quite a decent jump. What I've realized is that a lot of people I review end up jumping quite a bit of elo within a few months. It's not like monumental changes, like, oh, wow, one rec review and they jumped 600 elo. But this, like, 100 or 150, 200 elo spike is actually quite impressive, especially in just a few months. It's actually quite notable. The average player, by the way, gets really hard stuck. So just to give you an example of what the usual player gets into. Usually you just get hard stuck because it's very hard to advance in this game if you don't fix like the mistakes that you don't realize are mistakes, that kind of issues. But so far, really good Dark Age. I've been watching it and not really any crazy mistake. The only thing I've noticed is that he was a bit slow to lure deer, but so far I would say it's really not a bad situation at all. Yeah, pretty chill. We're gonna send 2 more villas over to the wood line. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the deer. Playing as the Huns, I could expect something like a scout rush, something like archers. Oh, I don't like this wall. I see this a lot, by the way, and I see people, they're like walling up really early. So in this case, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's doing it because he's up against Georgians. I like doing that as against Georgians as well, like just walling early. But even this, oh, this is really bad. So, oh, nice, he fixed it. Nice. Okay, that barracks was hugging the gold a bit too much. But even as a general rule, actually, I will tell you guys something that will really revolutionize your early walling. So, and not a lot of people know this. So, this wall here is actually really bad because archers can sit right there and harass everything, and you only have 3 tiles of gold on this side that you can take, and then maybe 1 tile here, or 1 side. They call it sides. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put it at the edge, at the tip, diagonal, of the last bit of gold. So like right here, you put it at the edge here, and then you wall across and then finish it. That way you have more faces of gold, and they don't sit as close to the gold area when it comes to range units. Same thing here. Like he walls here. I would consider this a mistake. He should wall 1 tile higher to make sure all the gold is included in the wall, and the 1 tile of gold is still part of the wall. All right, so you're just 1 tile further up. And this is something so small that I never talk about. Same thing for the barracks. It should be 1 tile higher to give you that face of the gold inside your base as well. I never actually talk about this because it's so small and almost insignificant, but I think it's actually worth mentioning. And now the information is with you guys, so you're responsible to spread that information and spread that knowledge to anyone who cares. And if you do this, if you apply this principle all the time, you'll realize that your base layout will be much better as a rule. Generally speaking, your base layout would just be so much nicer if you're just applying this rule constantly. It's really the kind of thing that helps in the long term. So here we're going to get lamed a bit by Georgians. It's very annoying. What can you do, though? It's like, holy! That red guy is an absolute maniac. I'm so happy he lost his scout, bro. That guy is a menace to society. He went back in and dove to snipe that sheep. Good reaction from Blue, though. Didn't panic. Just stayed calm and collected and picked up the scout kill. Okay, so here's the thing, Blue. I'm not a fan of these early walls, generally speaking. But if you tell me you did this because you're up against Georgians, fine. But I would even say you should start walling earlier. If you want a full wall, you have to make sure you're full wall before the first scout can even get in. So that's, fair enough. But he's done a good job. So huge walls, but again, it's probably because he's up against Georgians, which makes sense. And the reason why I specifically want to wall against Georgians is that they get up to feudal really fast, and they have healing scouts. So it's very obnoxious to actually fight them, and very obnoxious to deal with their early aggression. This is why, by the way, I consider Georgians one of the best civs at the moment. It reminds me of Mongols that you always get the initiative, always get a good start, amazing start. And then, unlike the Mongols though, Georgians have actually a very, very good like economy mid-late game. Whereas Mongols have very bad economy mid-late game and rely only on their strong units and like their snowball potential. So Georgians are in some ways actually better than Mongols in that sense. So what San Pascal has done, and I consider this honestly a very intelligent player, because the last rec review I did, I remember him also doing some really smart plays. What San Pascal's done is that he's completely avoided the early game scout war at the cost of 49 palisadoes. So 49 times 3 is 150 wood. So he spent 150 wood plus the build time instead of making the stable and a few scouts. So it ends up being quite even. The reason why you don't see like pro players doing this more often though is that when a pro player sees this, like in Jordan's position, what they'll do is that they'll either go for a tower rush and punish the guy for like being in a tight position, or they would just go up to castle age faster and they wouldn't wall much, just to be able to punish the other guy making all those walls. They would quote unquote greed it up, or this is not a bad reaction as well. They just also full wall and agree to go even throughout the feudal age and transition to castle age, all of which are pretty good options. So we're gonna fast forward here because there's really not much that's going on, but I think I talked a little bit about some important stuff nonetheless. Now, from San Pascal's perspective, I would like to see him get onto gold earlier. Like I find this very very interesting that a lot of players, okay, in feudal age are consistently making the same mistake where they like uninterrupted, they're not getting attacked. Oh, he's doing 2 gold mines, wow. Uninterrupted, they're not getting attacked, and they're still not getting up to castle age at like the perfect time. But in this case, he's actually adapting nicely. He notices he's behind on collecting gold, so he's gonna send a lot of those there. So I think he's doing a nice job adapting to the situation. But definitely make sure that you're not getting up to castle late if you're not getting attacked. And here he obviously goes stable and a blacksmith. Now, I will say, if this was my game, I would 100%. Sorry, my cat's in the background. I'm so sorry you can even hear that. I'm actually very surprised that he's going stable. I would go range if this was my game to play Cav Archer. And yeah, he is doing that. Wow, okay. This guy's smart. I like this guy a lot, actually. He says he doesn't play with build orders, and he like barely thinks about like the game, like in that sense. Doesn't have like the proper knowledge. He just kind of plays and does whatever. And he says he's happy to be reaching 1300 like that. But he said maybe it's time to learn build orders. So I figure, okay, as you wish, whenever you can. And my build orders are always there. They're waiting for people to use them, But this is fantastic. So he's gonna go 2 ranges behind his base. And just wall up here. This guy is playing exactly like me so far. Like, I really like this. Like, it's so good. Like, safe, defensive, don't die to Georgians. The only thing I don't like, actually, is that I would have made a tower on the main gold and not taken the secondary gold. That's what I would have done. And just 8 fills on gold. Towers, you don't have to deal with this BS. Like, in my opinion, this is complete BS. Don't want to deal with it. Tower, and I'm chilling. Not saying that's a mistake for him to not do this, but it's going to get messy, okay? But so far, he's actually been playing a good game. So what I want to see here is how he can clear this up fast and then get back to whatever game plan he's doing. So if his game plan was to go for Cav Archers, clear this up real quick, like super fast, clear this up, and then start attacking again. That would be amazing. So what I would do is make 1-2 knights, and then the Cav Archer, I send them right away to attack my opponent. And the 1-2 knights will clear this up. That's how I would play it. I wouldn't want to waste time with my Cav Archers hitting scouts and whatnot. Also, another small thing, notice how like he's just palisade walling so fast. This is actually really, really bad. So he's got the right idea, but he's making it way too easy on his opponent. What he should do is continue chopping wood. This palisade wall has still another 150 HP to go before it dies, right? He should continue chopping wood. When it's about like 50 HP, then you send 3 vills and make a new one. Because now what happens is, he hits it a little, he makes a new one. Then the enemy just moves to the next one, and then he has to make another new one. And so we're actually idling our vills for way longer. So what you should do from now on, guys, and this is San Pascal firstly as well, is continue chopping wood. Ignore him! Ignore him! He's doing nothing. See, look, he's just walling more, like 4 tiles, just because this guy hit 20 HP off this palisade wall. Ignore him. Let him raise the palisade to the ground just before it dies, then drop the next palisade, or drop a market, or drop a house, or whatever. Because now we're taking so much damage extra for no reason. But okay, San Pascal's going to move away. This is perfect, see? We let him hit it for half an hour, and right when he's about to finish it, we just make another palisade. That's perfect. If he did that from the start, it'd be a much better defense. So now his CA is coming out, and he's making 1-2 knights as well. Okay, this is actually fantastic. He's making all the right calls. It's like very, very impressive. Running back on 1 HP. Ooh, you got so unlucky there, by the way. The skirm, what happened there is the skirm missed his shot, but because he missed, he does half damage. So the 2 damage gets half to 1, but since the Vil was on 1 HP, it killed him anyway. It's actually so funny. I can't believe it. Okay, wow. That's great. Okay, so skirm, or actually it wouldn't do half damage because he still targeted that Vil, but yeah, he missed his shot. He doesn't have ballistic, so he missed the shot and he did the damage. But in any case, it's 1 damage and it's good enough. Let me just make sure everything's good on my end. Yeah, it looks clean. Camera's nice and big. You guys need to see my 8 AM face, of course. Very important. Okay. See, this, I don't like that he's using the C8 to clear this. I think the knights alone are enough. The CA would be much better just attacking. But okay, I mean, it's not too bad. He's also adding a second TC, so I'm really happy with how San Pascal's playing this so far. And if you notice, he actually got a 2 minutes faster castle. So what you should do now, San Pascal, is you should add another TC, a 3rd TC, and get Bowsaw. What this does, by the way, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you get the 3 TC as fast as possible, you're basically guaranteed to be ahead of your opponent in build count if you get the faster castle as well. Because going for the 4th TC, like if your opponent responds with 4 TC, it's very difficult to afford that. So it's not likely he's doing that. And if he does that, he's gonna have no military. Opponent's doing double church. It's the second time I've seen Georgian player do this. This is not good, guys. I don't like the double church right away. But a lot of the lower level players love doing this. I mean, it's crazy because for pro builds, I just feel like you can't afford it. But maybe lower level builds, they get up a little later, so they have more resources. So it's like a good way to, I guess, like use those resources. But yeah, if anything, he should spread them out a little bit as well. Because like you can see my mod, it's like there's a lot of overlap here between the churches. Okay, we take a fight here, and it's not the greatest fight ever, but it's not horrible either. What we're missing now is actually Botkin arrow. Okay, we're gonna get Bowsaw, Heavy Plow, 30C. This is fantastic. So we have a little bit of a build lead, as you can see. And it's just about massing CA here. So if you just mass CA as Huns, I think you have a decent matchup against Georgians. You're obviously worried about them getting Manaspa late game, but I think Heavy CA is one of the few units that can actually match Manaspa anyway, so that's probably fine. Okay, Knight goes down. Yeah, excellent. So let's go ahead and fast forward here. There's not much to be said. At this point, his main priority is going to be to continue booming and use the CA to get the relics, which is what he's doing. And if you can poke the walls a little bit. So like, for example, this, I don't like this AFKing stuff with the army. I don't like this. I would use the army, first of all, you should always be making more. You stopping production here makes no sense. You should always make more CA. Because there's no reason to get off CA. You haven't even seen the elite skirm, so like there's no reason to assume he's not elite skirm. So the reason why I don't like this AFK stuff with the cavalry just sitting at home is if you attack him, you keep an eye on his military, you see how much military he has, and you see if he's doing any tech switch. But right now, San Pascal, this is what you see. You see nothing. You don't know about the elite skirm. You don't know. You don't even know he has a range. Oh no, you do. You saw the skirms earlier. 3 churches. Wow, it's crazy. This guy is very, very devout. It's quite respectable. So you don't know how much army he has. Whereas if you just go, especially with a cav archer, guys, if you just go with your cav archers, right, and you go to your opponent's base, and he has 100 knights, all right, or 100 skirms, you can just run away. You take 0 losses. So there's actually 0 cost in game to running out with your CA. The only cost is that it costs you action, you know, for you to click it. So it costs you some APM, let's say. But it's worth practicing and getting faster by doing stuff like that. So obviously, you know, multitasking is an issue, but I do think that you can. I think you can practice the multitasking by establishing good habits like that. Keeping your CA at home will never make you play faster. So I would go out, see what's up, go back. Just practicing stuff like that will actually make you get faster over time, and make you a better player. But for now, we're kind of just booming and chilling. And the next step of the game, and this is especially for the people who are benefiting from my Patreon videos, especially for those guys. You guys understand the next step of the game. Actually, okay, we could do this. People on YouTube, they love the pause. So we're going to pause here. And you guys can take a few seconds, pause the video if you need more time, and try to think of the next step for blue. And this is a very generic step as well, not very specific to this game. So I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, so, and people love this pause feature. We're going to be implementing it on rec reviews. So what he should do right now, and this is a very generic rule. Again, so you might be thinking Imperial Age, you might be thinking something like that. It's a very generic rule. In the transition between Castle Age and Imperial Age, what a lot of people miss is that there's a huge struggle for map control right now. There has to be. If there's not, both players are playing wrong. Okay? So what Blue has to do now is, I was going to say she, but I think it's a guy. He has to ramp up the CA production and actually look to gain the map control and attempt to place a forward castle. Okay? That is, generally speaking, what you want to do. And the reason why I say my Patreon members have an advantage is I have a whole Patreon video about this. The best way to end the game, forward castle plus faster imp. So what he should do is get onto some stone. He's actually a bit late on that. He should be already on stone. He should master a lot of CA. Look to gain the map control. Get bloodlines, get all the upgrades. Look to get the map control push out. If he needs to add knights to counter skirms, he'll add knights to counter skirms, although they have no upgrades. So CA, pure CA should be enough. He should gain the map control. Now, red at the same time should be doing the exact same thing, by the way. Because if you make army, you either get the map control and drop the forward castle, or if your opponent is playing well and they're also making army, then both players making army, it cancels out, the castle stay at home, and the game continues. So you see how if nobody does it correctly, the game continues like normal. If one guy does it correctly, the guy who does it correctly will 100% win the game, like 99% win the game. Castle forward, faster imp is usually completely GG. And if both players do it well, then the game will continue because neither player can win the fights. Unless there's some guy out micring, then neither player will win the fights. And by the way, like literally 95+% of players completely miss the step. They don't even know it exists. This is why I hope that you can benefit from watching these videos, these coaching videos, so you can learn some of these things that I've learned over years. I didn't know about this till recently. And you know what? I'll even tell you the guy who taught me it by beating me with it, Winchester. I'll even drop the name. Winchester was destroying me with the same tactic. And it got to the point where I said, you know what? I am, no matter what happens, I don't care what happens in the game. I am not losing to Winchester dropping a castle on me in late castle. So I would just go full army on him and make sure I don't die to him. And over time, he made me a much better player. I don't think he even knows this. Shout out to you, Winchester. You beating me a few tournaments, few ranked games made me a much better player. He doesn't even know about it. Yeah, that's something I learned over years and years of playing. Hopefully you can learn it just by watching this one video, and you can save a lot of years, and a lot of my mistakes can save you some time here. So Stan Pascal's doing a decent job of moving out, but of course he's completely oblivious of the step of getting the stone and going for the castle. And so is Red. Red's also oblivious. He's making the castle at home, and nobody is going for the map. And one last thing I will talk about this topic, it's like, if you get a forward castle, these 2 golds, right? You just castle here or here on the hill, control the gold, control 2 golds if you make it here, for example, not even too far forward. You control 2 golds. And if you control 2 golds going into imp, that's just such a huge thing, you know? But okay, we're going to transition into a late game here. Ideal late game for Huns is probably going to be something like Cav Archer Halb or Cav Archer Hussar, depending on the situation. Remember, the comp for late game is usually 1 gold unit, 1 food/trash unit, and 1 siege unit that's good against buildings. That's like the general composition, okay? We can ×8 this one. They're both just booming. I like the 4th TC edition. That's very good. Also, getting all the eco upgrades is very good around this time. But when we get to Imp, I'm already noticing a problem. Ooh, never get Town Patrol. This is not a priority for now. I don't like that tech. He's also going for 50C. Okay. So I wouldn't go for Town Patrol. So I noticed a big problem here. Stan Pascal is floating a lot of resources going into Imperial Age. At this point, what he should ideally want is we want to put all of our resources into tech and into army as fast as possible. So we have a CA transition, or we have a CA mass down. We just need to get the tech. And then we can start planning our transition into our secondary unit. Because what happens is if we stay on pure CA, we can just die to a pure counter unit, like pure Skirm. Opponents on Skirm and Aspa, by the looks of things. Oh, he made a lot of stables, for no reason, I think. A lot of churches and stables. This player's playing pretty well, though. He's booming nicely. He's also adding the 4th DC, so this guy's playing well. Oh, a Stonewall in the map, wow. This guy, yeah, this guy's doing well too. Not my cup of tea. You are my cup of tea. Okay, this is fantastic. Marauders coming out. We want to go Tarkans? CA Tarkans? Okay. That's usually only a comp I do if I have 5 relics. If you don't have 5 relics, it's really hard. You have 1 relic, sir. That's a bad decision. I think it should be Hussar for sure. Yeah, 100% should be Hussar. More TC, it's not very necessary. At this point, you should just try to transition to secondary units. Which I guess is Tarkin, so he's doing that, okay. Okay, I mean, we're gonna commit to the Tarkans. Gold might be a bit of an issue, but I guess if we can go for a double gold comp, Tarkin CA sounds okay on paper. You know, why not? Elite Tarkin coming up. He's doing a good job getting all upgrades. San Pascal, you have my respect for that. But don't forget the armor upgrades on the cab, eh? It's very important as well. Scrims for Georgians. Arrow slits. Is he gonna go Svan Towers? No way I'm casting a random 1250 game and my opponent, the opponent of the guy I'm supposed to be rec reviewing coaching here is going Svan Towers. Okay. He's winning over the audience. I love that tag. I think it's really good, by the way. So nice. But I don't know if he's going to do it. We'll see. It's just a prediction. Alright. Yeah, chasing away the CA. So again, this is why we need that transition, but he has it. Then go Tarkans. So, okay, listen. I don't like the Tarkans, but we commit to it. That's fine. Now what we should do is, if we're on double gold comp, we don't have 5 relics, we have to end the game fast. Okay? And by the way, I'm live streaming. You don't see the chat on YouTube. I have a message. Hey, Hera, I went down to 700 elo, but since watching your videos, I've won my last 10 ranked 1v1s, almost back up to 900 elo. I'm very happy to hear that, brother. That's amazing. Congratulations. Keep grinding. 1000 elo is just around the corner. Okay, so back to our game here. We want to end the game fast because we're on double gold comp. We're missing chemistry, by the way. Okay. It's fine. Winning the fight very hard. We have like way more army in that region. In theory, our comp is way better, by the way. His Skirm Cavalier is no match to Tarkin Cav Archer. Very nice. Okay, this guy is rather ambitious going for the mule card, but I think that there was a gold here. He just doesn't know it's gone. It's very ambitious. He's gonna lose all of those units. So okay, this is like we're flowing a lot of res. This is the time to fight, actually. When we're at 200 pop, we want to try to take a fight to snowball the game. And if we lose army, we can just make more because we have so much res. What we don't want is for the game to stall out and us to run out of gold. That's the worst case scenario when doing double gold comp. Sniping the vills under the castle. Okay, not bad. So we have all tech except chemistry, which is actually quite good. San Pascal did a really good job getting all the techs. To be honest, I watched this. He's even getting chemistry. I watched this. I'm really not sure why San Pascal can't be a higher elo. Like, I think I see this. I see a higher elo player here. Yeah, he's doing very well. Like, actually very aggressive, diving everything and not scared of, yeah, not scared of anything, really. Going in deeper. And now Trebuchet is taking out the castle. Tarkin's doing good work. And putting pressure right after would be fantastic. Oh, splitting up the TA. Look at that micro. What the hell? Bro, is this me playing? This is fantastic. The hell? That's a crazy micro. This looks like a pro player. I usually don't gas up the people I review. Usually there's a lot of mistakes, but this is genuinely quite nice. Maybe he played like 10 horrible games and only sent me like the best game he's played, you know? Review this one, Hera. I want to learn from this one. And like the other 10 games, he's getting destroyed. But this one game is just insane. I don't know. But to me, this seems like a much higher rated player. At least from my experience reviewing around this level. Like, Red played fine, but Red played more like a 1250, like a proper 1250. Red's Blue, I'm not saying he's smurfing or anything. I just feel like maybe he played this one, he was feeling really good, had a nice breakfast that day, and it's just, yeah, destroying everyone. Let's see, maybe there's like a mega throw coming, but I just don't see it. Looks good. Now he's switching into Hussar, which is smart. Yeah. And by the way, the reason why I insisted on Hussar from the start is that Hussar would do the exact same thing as Tarkans. The Tarkans aren't doing anything special. You can see the GG called here. Yeah, so San Pascal takes it. No mega throw incoming. But what I would say here is that the Hussar would do the exact same thing as the Tarkans, but they're going to be a lot freer to throw in there. Also, what you noticed earlier is that he had like no gold and a lot of food. So the bottleneck for the Cav was not actually the food. It was just the gold. Whereas if you do Hussar, you have all the gold for Trebs and CA, and you can just spam Hussar all day long. So you can send them into raid, you can send them into snipe trebs, and you don't feel bad about it. But yeah, I mean, very, very nice gameplay from Sam Pascal. I don't really have much to say. I mean, he missed the timing window to go for the forward castle, so I could see him losing some games like that. And he did play a very passive feudal. I could see him losing games if maybe he can't pull wall in time, and he has to fight early. But what I would recommend San Pascal is just play this defensive style early game, get into your boom, make sure to do the 30C a little bit faster, and maybe try to get the relics a bit earlier as well. You could have done both of those things, and you'd have a great game. Last thing as well to note is that you kind of just were a bit too passive with your CA. So if there's a few things to learn, it's like be a bit more active with the CA, pick up relics, and get your 30C down faster. And that would just, and like, don't stop production. That would just turbo everything, and make you just a better player overall. And of course, there's that idea of forward castling in Castle Age. That's an idea that everyone needs to get on board with at some point. It's going to make your game a lot better. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy it on YouTube. I'll show you guys the stats real quick as we end the video. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely run up the algorithm on these coaching videos. I make it very clear every single time. The coaching videos, not everyone watches them. They are the weakest viewership-wise on YouTube. But I'm still posting it because the people that watch it tell me they love it. They love it so much. So help me out, get the viewership up to justify me posting it. If not, I'll just continue doing this as a service to these people on email away from YouTube, okay? And if you guys want to be part of the service, you can check out my Patreon. You can message me on Discord and be part of it. Tons of exclusive guides on Patreon as well. I take it very seriously. Link in description. It's the best way to learn the game, both to play it and to watch it and to get better at it. It's all the information is there. Tons and tons of exclusive videos that can benefit you. And if you guys want to come check out me out on the live stream, link also in the description with the Twitch link. And that's pretty much it. Let's go through the stats fast. You can pause if you want to analyze. And I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Peace.